Rick Banks here, Feel Free Kayak's Wild Side, and what we're doing is just preparing to do the seat riser kit, and we're waiting on that to come in from Bliss, and it should arrive this week. So we're just kind of getting a little antsy and wanting to get things done. Basically, I've removed the seat, and I've already removed this side rail, so we've taken that, undone it, and essentially what you're going to end up doing is just undoing all of your screws and removing the bracket that holds the back of the seat in. So that takes care of that, and they are off. Pretty much set on that, but anyhow, that's going to be our step one to it, and I just wanted to video that real quick. But then we'll be coming back and adding our just add waters on top of here, but the riser is going to bolt through here. The seat brace is going to go on top. These holes here, I believe I have to drill just slightly bigger to put the through bolts through. So we'll see what all takes place once the kit gets here. And then I'm going to create, after the fact, a actual Teak seat riser, and I'll probably just mimic what he did because it'd be dumb not to. What he has is a pretty good kit, and from what I can see, I really like it. Then we'll work on the under seat storage. So we'll see what happens from there, and we'll get ready to film the next part. All right, got a package in from New York. Bliss, can't thank you enough. Let's see what we got in here. Looks like a new project to me. Oh yeah. Dude, awesome work. Looks very nice, very, very nice. Got us a 3-inch seat riser. Even left the space out for your ID tags hidden on the boat. Very, very nice build. Got us our front pieces for the riser. We have us some hardware. I believe he said we're going to do a little bit of drilling on the metal guide rails that we already removed. So stay tuned. We're going to do a seat riser. With this kit here, as you can see, there we go, you can read it now. We're going to have to drill. The head is larger than the original holes, so 0.38 is what we have to drill to. And you're also going to be doing 2 set screws at the front feet once it's installed, and of course we'll show that. Alright, back at it again. We've laid the stack together, and essentially it's just, you're laying it on the rail. It has a cutout on this side for your serial number. I pulled mine off because they had so much goop shoved behind it. It stuck way out and made the bolts fit real tight. I'm going to relocate this back inside this back compartment up in the side there and just glue it up to the top, and it'll still be hidden and still a good hull identification number, so a good way to find that. But all we did there was just set it in place, align the rail on top, and then we ran our bolts through. So we will do this side, tighten it, and then we'll go over to the other side. not too complex. I said you do end up drilling these, and I think that makes a difference there as far as getting your fit correctly and what have you. All right, we've got that done. We'll switch sides. We'll do this other side. And of course I've got the Gorilla Tape. You're probably, why does he have Gorilla Tape? And that's what holds my cover logo on there for my Just Add Water logo. And then that'll be the final fit of it. Your seat's gonna slide in right here, but we'll show that here in a moment. All right, we've slid our bolts through and bring them down into the base we've put on. I did add a layer of double back between the two. I just want a good firm grip in it, and just the way I am, I like to make sure it's going to hold tight between them. And I just push the bolts down in it because some of the tape was holding. Get them started. This one's talking because it's dry. And that one's dry too. And you just tighten them down. I like to walk them down. It's easier on the bolts, easier on the inserts. And a little started. There we go. And then you just tighten these down. Alright, I've taken the VIN, added a little contact to it. We're going to go right in the access. And excuse the jumping camera. I'm trying to get this in my hand good. And we're going to go right up in here. And I'm just going to tag this on the inside, on the bottom. And ain't nobody gonna know where it's at. Well, you do now, because I filmed it. But anyhow, that'll at least keep the vent in there. And as you can see, we've got the covers put on and got it cleaned up, laid in there, and the back is essentially there. There's the camera in over here. Same thing on this side. We'll come back, and where I did a little double back, and I'm going to trim that out, but there's the back install, and now we're going to go and deal with the front here. So should be a pretty straightforward, and it's such a tight fit. That's really good. Dave, you did an awesome job on that. What an awesome job on all of it. This is cool. So anyhow, we'll keep trucking. Okay, what I've done is put the seat back in its position in the rails, and then his front spacers, I've slid them onto the bars, and what I've been doing is just going back and forth side to side to get a good square fit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a drill, and I'm going to measure what I need to drill to, and we're going to run this set screw right into this, and it kind of locks it and eliminates any movement, therefore making it even more rigid. Also with it, for the seat strap, see if we can bring that around to it. But for the seat strap, it's rigid. It ain't, I mean, I'm sitting here shaking the kayak on the rack, and I have yet to even put in the set screws. So very, very rigid. And I think Mr. Dave Bliss did an awesome design, awesome job with it, and I just can't wait to see what he creates next. And I was originally thinking, well, I'm going to build these blocks and do this lift out of teak, and I like what he did so much that I'm not going to do that, but I am going to do an under seat storage up off the bottom that's going to go to the back, and we're going to do 2 Plano 3700s, and then we're going to have a block off across the back underneath the chair, and within that block off on the back here, I'm going to take and make that just a little area, but it'll be able to drain, and I can store the rain suit and all. Then we'll hang the back bag off the back of the chair, adding additional storage. Alrighty, let me go mic these and get my drill bit size, and we'll get that part started. So we got to drill the set screw. And that locks that down. We'll clean this up in a minute because I'm going to do the other side, and that way I don't want to move anything where I've got it set. Alrighty, well, we're coming along. We got the cup holder, phone lure storage right in front of the pedals. Very convenient. And we got a lot of the teak work done. We've got the seat riser system in, and really simple install, very robust, very, very sturdy. I mean, I'm sitting here trying to move it around and it ain't going nowhere, so that's kind of interesting. But absolutely a big plus to this kayak. Coming up that little bit, you know, I still have my rod storage I made, and still got my Garmin in place, you know, and again I had it so it would swing and I could adjust however I needed it because I was prepared for that. And then on the next steps, it's going to be, I'm probably going to run a piece of teak from the back here across to the other side, as well as in front of it, the same scenario. And then I'm going to run from here and here forward with the teak struts, and that's going to allow me to create the under storage to where I can actually take and store the 2 planos underneath and still have a little more clearance. But look at the space that this is made underneath there. I mean, that is just remarkable. Quite a bit of space. And then it's going to allow me to hang down from here a storage bag, which will come in and clip here and over there. And again, you can, you know, store your rain gear or whatever you decide you want to store that way. So it's not only brought the seat up to 3 inches, but it has created places for a great amount of storage, and it's changed your angle from the seat within to the pedal drive. And I know for a fact that's going to be even more ergonomic on this boat. So it really raised the value of this boat, and as far as ergonomics go, ease of application to you. Standing from this higher position is a lot easier, which yes, this boat you can stand in and fish it. It is comfortable. It's a very, very wide boat, so it has a lot of stability unless you don't have any balance whatsoever. All right, we're working on the under seat tackle storage part. Doing a little teak work. Setting our set hole. screws behind it because you'll drill through them, and that ain't pretty. Give me my pilot on the bottom. Now we're going to do the through bolt. Always got cleanup. Down to the bottom. Teak on small pieces, you do not want to use your power tools. It will mess you up. A lot easier to do by hand. You don't split it as much. Still have to back here put a backing piece on it. Hey McQueen, can you hand me that board up there, the little one on the nose, so I can show this? Thank you. And then what we're going to do is just back it up with a stop, and then that way when it comes in it can stop here, or if you're aggressively fishing it'll stop here. Either way you've got stored and just forward where you can slide it in and out. But this is kind of how it's going to end up, just to give you a quick idea. So, and I'll probably only use like half a stop on it's all that's needed, 2 screws and to be done. So I'll cut this piece in half, come back, and we'll put them on. All right, let's take a look at what we've got here. We've done the seat lift and the riser of 3 inches. We'll fold that back. What we've done here underneath, created a little luggage rack, just using the Kayak's form itself to take advantage. Got to do a lot of cleanup, still a little trim, do the teak oil to it so it'll darken like this and match it, but it allows us some underseat storage, which we all know storage in a kayak is critical. But you can actually take and slide in and out your tackle boxes. Let me adjust this, and I'm going to close that down and bring it along with me. But like I said, it allows you underseat storage. So now what we've got, and again thank you David Bliss, because Dave, this is the cat's meow. I mean, it literally 2 nice tackle storage systems underneath. We still have a bunch more room underneath the seat, which it still leaves another 4 inches of storage between it and the floor. And going around back, again, you've got a deep area in here of storage still available. And honestly, you could put a battery system in there, especially with the lithium ion. You can put it on its side, and there's more than ample room up underneath there to do it. So you've got the room in here for the storage, and if I wanted to, I could put a piece of teak across here, edge to edge, and then come down with the storage bag, which will tuck here, and that would hold my rain gear and just emergency stuff, just things that you might need that you don't think about, a little tool pouch, things of that nature. So overall, this has been a really fun build. Got to do some cleanup, The only other thing left that I want to do is dealing with my sonar installation, and I'm actually going to get the transducer more on a stick where I can actually rotate it more forward, and even though it's down imaging, it will read forward to a degree and allow you to see a lot more going on out in front of you. And it's just a cheaper way of going about doing it, but it works. So this is Captain Rick Banks, Feel Free Kayaks Wildside, and I think we're going to clean this up and add the teak oil and a bungee, and I think we're going to call it done. So that's been our build, and appreciate y'all following along. Subscribe if you haven't. We definitely like the subscriptions. It helps us, doesn't cost you nothing, and just stay tuned. It'll be a Johnny boat build next. Captain Rick Banks here with the Moken 10 PDL teakwood mod, along with a seat riser mod from Dave Bliss. Dave, thank you so much. Very, very nice piece of equipment, and we're gonna, at the end of this, leave his information to contact Dave. My understanding is he said that for a short while he's going to offer free shipping, so you might want to take advantage of that. But the kit is solid. I actually added to it and did some drilling in it. Very impressed with the quality. So I think it's a great product, and you ought to check him out. But anyhow, we'll leave that information at the end. So let's take a look at what we've done with this kayak. Y'all are familiar with the compass rose that I had my sweetness make. She can smile now. She's the laser lady. All right, compass rose coming back. We added just a little bit of love here, just some teak overlays. We got our cup, phone holder, lure holder, and what we did here was took an old piece of the Unitrack rail, cut it, set it up, and took advantage of usable space. And as you can see, there's nothing in the way, so we're good to go with that. We added our little teak overlays here on the drive, rapid drive, very solid, very robust. My green one, I've put the whoop to it, and it just keeps on going. We did our floor up in teak, did our rails in teak, which is nice. Then we added to the Unitrack where we can have our sonar set up, and we're still going to do the wiring for that. I've got some other ideas with a forward mount that I'm going to do as far as the transducer goes. Got our rod rack built in, very low profile, keeping it down to the side, out of the way, still room to land a fish in this pocket, totally open on that side for landing a pocket. And yes, I'm bypassing what we did to the seat yet. We're going to go to the rear and come back to the seat. Again, just very simple teak work, simple layouts. And again, in the rear, and got our hatch there. We put our Banks Lures logo, which is part of Two Bums and a Dog. So we're kind of happy with that. Now, coming back to the seat riser kit. As you can see, we've got a 3-inch lift. And in that 3-inch lift, not only did we do the install, which you'll see, which you're going to see prior to this, but anyhow, we put in a piece of Unitrack rail here, and this is going to allow for rod holders on both sides, and or if you want to put something in the center, and still allow room for a bag to be in here for storage, and still allow storage back here in the back end. The intent is you can actually troll in between, going spot to spot if you wanted to. It gives you a place just to stash your rod, keep it out away from the kayak, so you're covering a little bit more distance, and sometimes that helps. So that worked out quite well within this. And we're going to take and come up to the front, and let's go over this. We got our tackle storage here, so that's absolutely wonderful. And let's take and undo this strap. giving you a bad camera angle here. All right, so we got the strap out. Now we just bump the seat up forward, tilt it back, lay it out of the way if I want it out of the way. We have another piece of track here, which we're going to come off with a bungee that's going to come around the front, and that'll allow you to just throw and go. Throw your stuff in there, travel with it. You ain't got to worry about it coming out. Makes life a little simpler. The unique part is what we added within this seat riser of adding these bars. We made it perform additional functions. And everything's limited by your imagination as far as your creativity goes. And what I did was I came back in and looked at the actual hull and designed into it, taking advantage of the bends and nooks and strength members that are built into the Kayak hull, and built this little rack, lightweight, and it is removable. There is no drilling, there is no nothing on this, and this is pretty simple to create. Very, very simple cuts and layout, and again, snaps right back in place, and it gives you your room for your tackle storage, which is really nice, and it adds to the roominess, if you will. From this angle here, you can see how much storage you've got. You could put a lithium battery back here and set it up if you wanted to, and it would be out of your way. Then you'd still have your back tank well, so that part of it would be really nice. And then the other thing I was looking at is within the tie of the seat, you have the space up in here, which is perfect to store a little rain gear bag. So again, taking advantage of every nook and cranny you can on your Kayak, and it just makes sense. It's smart, but it just snaps right down in place. And again, it gave us that 3-inch lift, and it's very unique how he designed this front to fit. And if you look at it, it goes around 2 notches there. It is very, very secure. When you strap that down, it ain't moving, it ain't wiggling. And it's got a set screw that you put in. You have to drill that and put that set screw in, which I show in the video as well. But that's pretty much the layout of this Kayak. Again, the sonar, I'm still going to come off of this rail out with a small turn handle. I'm going to be angling the transducer forward, which what I'm going to be doing is kind of cheating and using it as a forward facing, but it's actually a down imaging sonar. So your distance is not going to be your water depth. You're going to be off on that, but understanding how far and your angles that you put on it and doing the math to it, you can actually utilize a down imaging somewhat as a small forward imaging. It won't do everything a forward will, but we used to do that way back in the day and go around the mangroves for big snook and find them in the trees and stuff, and we'd actually have the transducer on a stick and be leaning over the side of the boat, one driving and one hanging out checking it out. But it worked wonders. So a little bit of trickery there. Anyhow, this is Captain Rick Banks' Feel Free Kayaks Wildside, and if you get a chance and you want to check out all the artwork on this is from this lady right here, my beautiful wife that I love dearly, and we run Two Bums and a Dog together, and she is the master of these lasers and doing all kind of neat stuff with that. So if you can, go to Two Bums and a Dog and check it out. Take care, guys. Captain Rick out. Captain Rick Banks here, and you can contact Dave Bliss at blissfabrication@gmail.com. Dave will hook you up. My understanding is the first few orders are going to get free shipping. So get on that deal while you can. Dave, great job. And don't forget, Just Fishing, Bristol, Virginia, for all your tackle needs. Tell Alan that I sent you.